Welcome to American Falls High School. Bear Lake Bears set to take on the American Falls Beavers. It's baseball time. Meanwhile, in Preston right now, the girls are playing softball. That game started at 3:30. As soon as we can find an update for you, we'll let you know how the girls are doing. Both teams are playing in district competitions. Hard choice today on which game to do, but we chose this game for a couple reasons. First of all, we haven't been to as many baseball games as we have softball. And secondly, logistics. I've been in Boise all week, and so we decided I could make it to American Falls on my way home from Boise easier than I could to Preston. So that's why we're here. If you're wondering why we're covering baseball instead of softball. But the Bears set to take on the Beavers. Pitching for American Falls will be Avalos, A-V-A-L-O-S, Avalos is what I'm going to go with. If that's incorrect, I do apologize. First up for the Bear Lake Bears in playing center field will be Peter Newton. The little lefty will be the first Bear Lake batter as we get started. This is the first league game of the year for American Falls, for Bear Lake, I should say. Season just starting. I think American Falls played Marsh Valley yesterday, if I understood some of the fans correctly. Marsh Valley, I do know, is ranked number 2 overall in the state. So Marsh Valley, the powerhouse in the league. The other 3 teams, I think, are a lot closer, and we'll see how this one goes as the Bears taking on the Beavers. Here's the first pitch of the game, and that one's low for ball 1. So Peter Newton ahead in the count already. 1 ball, no strikes. Nobody out, nobody on. Top of the first inning here from American Falls, and Bears and Beavers in baseball. And Newton steps in. Avalos taking his time between pitches. Here's the pitch. That one, strike 1. 1-1 count. And I think the umpire forgot who the batter was. That one looked high. And that one was outside for ball 2. So unless I missed a pitch somewhere, it's 2 balls, 1 strike. And that's going to hit him. So it doesn't matter if I missed one or not. He's hit by the pitch, and he heads on down to first base. Dawson Beard playing shortstop today. The number 2 batter in the lineup for the Bears. With a runner now at first and nobody out is Avalos. Got a little bit too far inside with that pitch. And sends Newton down to first base. Beard steps in from the right side of the plate. And Beard lays down a bunt, but it goes foul for strike 1. Newton will have to go back to first base. It was a attempt to move the runner, and it goes foul. So strike 1 on Beard. And Beard's the batter. The runner, Newton, stole second there. Talking to somebody off the air for just a second. Sorry I missed that play for you. Beard still in the box. And I believe that was a called strike on that last pitch.
He swung.
Oh, swing and a miss. So 1 ball on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Runner at second in Newton, so he's in scoring position. Beard foul tips it back off the catcher. And we'll do it again. Still a 1-2 count. With the runner at second. The leadoff runner got on by being hit by the pitch. Avalos, the pitcher for American Falls, has settled in and is ahead in the count against Beard. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Beard is going to drive it up the middle past the shortstop. Newton will have to stop at third base. But Beard reaches on a single. And that was just a hard ground ball. Shortstop couldn't get to it. It gets to Parrish in left field. And now runners on the corners with Jack Hume, who will be pitching today when the Bears take the field, stepping into the box with a chance to put some runs on the board early for the Bears with runners on the corners. Let's see if Beard's moving from first to try to get both runners in scoring position. throw over to make sure he doesn't get too much of a head start. He's back safely. Wallace comes to the plate, and Hume is going to knock that one into center field. It's going to fall. Newton's going to score. Well played by the left fielder. It was shallow enough. The left fielder actually had a better angle to get over to that one than the center fielder coming in on this big outfield. So the first pitch single scores a run on the fly ball to center. Beard, not knowing for sure if it was going to be caught, did have to tag up, so he's only able to advance to second. Now Perkins, the freshman catching today, steps in the box. Beard back to second. The ball gets through, and both runners are going to move up a base as the throw down to second gets past the shortstop and into center field. So both players advance. They tried to pick Beard off, and instead, two runners are on in scoring position now. Zavala attempting to get the pick off instead allows the runners to advance. So Perkins steps in with runners at second and third. Still nobody out. Here's the pitch. Foul ball. So Perkins at the plate can do some damage here, batting fourth and catching today. Base hit, could score a couple. And that one's a called strike. 0-2 count with runners at second and third. Still nobody out. So if he can put the ball in play, he scores a run most likely, even if he himself gets out. Here's the pitch. And that one's in the dirt. Great stop by the catcher to keep that one from getting to the backstop. And then a bad throw back to the pitcher, gets all the way to the second baseman, and Beard will score. So Beard, and I'm not sure if the catcher meant to throw it to second trying to get Hume, or if it was just a bad throw back. I was looking down, putting the pitch in the iPad, and all of a sudden Beard's trotting home. So the Bears have scored a couple and have yet to have an out. Perkins at the plate, and that one's low for a ball. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second, 2 runs across, nobody out. And here's a ground ball scooped up by the third baseman. He'll go to first for the out. And then the ball comes back to third, but not in time. Hume advances easy. So a great stop on the hard ground ball. But it does advance the runner. Hume is now at third. And Tate Ewing steps into the box for the Bear Lake Bears. Here's the pitch to Ewing. Outside, good stop by the catcher again to keep that one from going to the backstop. When you get runners at third, what that does is it puts a lot more pressure on your catcher to keep things in front of him to make sure that runner can't score. Swing and a miss there for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 1 out. 2 runs across. All ready for the Bears. Tate Ewing, the batter. And that one's fouled back just underneath it for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He'd like to put one in play because even a ground ball out probably scores another run. The Bears would love to get a win here in district play to start off their district season. And just held off that one. It's ball 2. Beautiful day. A little bit breezy, but a beautiful day here in American Falls.
Nice. A lot better than the last time we were here.
Yeah, a week ago when we were up here for softball. Wasn't quite a week ago, I guess, but we were freezing. And today it's beautiful.
I'm not sure. I didn't think I was ever going to get warm again, but we're live. We did it.
And Ewing draws the walk. So now, again, runners at the corners with just 1 out. See if Ewing's moving on the pitch. Coach Culver gives the signs. Dax Wood, playing third base today, steps into the box. Runners at the corners, 1 out. 2 runs across already here in the top of the first inning. And the 1 out was on a hard ground ball that did score a run. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be foul ball. Popped out of play down the first baseline. So good swing by Wood, but it goes foul. Throw over to first, not in time. He dives back. So the count remains no balls, 1 strike. Runners at first and third. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Oh, they're going to say foul tip. So Tate Ewing, who had advanced down to second base, will have to trot back. So 0-2 count now on Wood. Strikeout here would be big for American Falls. That one's low, and Ewing does steal second. So that takes away the force at second, eliminates the chance of a double play, and Wood is going to strike out. Swing and a miss. That brings Chet Weston to the plate. He'll be playing first base today. First pitch is low for ball 1. So as the inning has gone on, Avalos working a lot faster than he did the first couple batters. Low for ball 2. Ewing at second, Hume at third. Bears have scored 2. Beard and Newton both across the plate in the inning. Weston takes low for ball 3. So Avalos has really sped up his pitching this batter. He's not taking as much time between pitches, but he's thrown 4 straight balls, walked him on 4 pitches to load the bases for Ryder Beard. Ryder's playing left field today and batting in the number 8 position. If he could put the ball in play here, he could score a couple runs as runners on all the bases. Lots of ducks on the pond, as they say. No place to put him. The catcher, Chesler, goes and has a visit with his pitcher, Avalos. And now he'll walk back behind home plate, give Avalos time to relax, and Ryder Beard, the senior playing left field today, steps into the box with a chance to break this one open here in the first. 2 runs across already.
Oh, that hit him.
And that'll score a run, hit by a pitch. No place to put him, and he put him on anyway with a pitch that hit Ryder Beard in the back, and that brings Christofferson to the plate. Christofferson playing second today, and now 3 runs across, 2 outs. Christofferson pops it up, but it's out of play for strike 1. Christofferson would love to get a little hit here. A single scores at least 1, maybe 2. And it would break this game open here in the first inning. Top of the first, still 3-0 Bear Lake. And that was just up for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out, bases full of Bears. Ewing on third, Weston on second. Beard, after getting hit by the pitch, over at first. It's a hard ground ball. First baseman is going to win the race to the plate and end the inning, but not before the Bears score 3. We'll be back with the bottom half of the first inning right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
At Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, it's not only about mining phosphate for production of crop nutrients that support western U.S. farmers and ranchers. It's about supporting our employees, neighbors, and local communities and their families. From providing quality competitive jobs to being an active partner in our local communities. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine. Passion for people and supporting local families by bringing Earth's resources to life.
Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier is your full-service pharmacy, including prescription refills and medications. Bear Lake Drug also offers services such as rapid strep test, rapid influenza test, and medication synchronization. Ask your pharmacist for more details at Bear Lake Drug on Washington Street in Montpelier. Visit BearLakeDrugID.com. That's BearLakeDrugID.com. It's your local drugstore and a whole lot more. Bear Lake Drug.
for the bottom of the first inning here in the baseball game. The Bears lead it by a score of 3-0. They sent 9 batters to the plate, scored 3, left 3 on, and were able to take the 3-0 lead. McClurg, the third baseman, will be the first batter for the Beavers. Jack Hume will be pitching here in the bottom of the first inning. And this is an interesting lineup for the Bears. You're either a senior or a sophomore in this lineup, except for the catcher. There's seniors. I guess there is one junior, the pitcher. So the battery with a junior and a freshman are the only two that are not seniors and sophomores. You got a senior at first, second, and shortstop is a swing and a miss on the first pitch. You got seniors in center field and left field, but you got sophomores in right field and at third base. Here's the second pitch. Just missed for ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out, nobody on. Bears lead at 3-0 here in the bottom of the first inning on your Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard. That one's outside for ball 2. So after getting a swing and a miss on the first pitch, Hume has missed with his second too. And it's a 2 balls, 1 strike count. Here's the next pitch. And that's a pop fly into center field. Newton's got an eye on it. He's under it for out number 1. And it's fairly windy out here. So that was a pretty good play there by Peter Newton in straightaway center field to get underneath that and continue to track it in the wind. That brings up Avalos, the pitcher, as the number 2 hitter in the lineup. Ground ball is going to be scooped. Oh, knocked down by Christofferson, but he doesn't come up with it cleanly at second base. So Avalos will reach on an error. Christofferson was there. He knocked it down, but as he came up to make the throw, realized the glove wasn't in his mitt. And that brings up Williams, the first baseman. He's batting from the left side in a 3-0 game. Hume now pitching from the stretch. Runner goes. Here's the pitch. Here's the throw down. Not in time, and it's going to get into center field. But Avalos will stay right there with the stolen base. So now runner in scoring position with 1 out. Bears lead at 3-0. Williams in the box. Throw down to second, not in time, as Avalos jump dives back. And it's a 1-1 count now with a called strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on, bottom of 1. Bears lead it by 3-0. That one's outside, and it's going to be off the glove of Perkins. He wasn't able to get out there to it, and so the runner will advance to third on the wild pitch. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Runner now down at third. A little bit easier to keep your eye on him now if you're the pitcher. And a swing and a pop fly, foul ball. And the wind picking up a little bit. It's going to be hard to get anything out of the infield with this wind. That's a pretty stiff breeze. We're blowing right at our back, and we're out in right field. And that's going to be just a bouncer, C&I single that gets into left field. And it just took a high hop. There was just no way to get to it for the infield. Beard comes up with it and keeps him to a single. But Avalos will score on the play to make it 3-1. And that brings Parrish, the left fielder, to the plate. As you can hear, the wind in our microphone's picking up just a little bit. And the runner's going and not in time on the throwdown. So a ball on the pitch and a stolen base. So now runner at second in scoring position, and a swing and a miss that time. He tried to check his swing, but could not. I think it would have been a called strike anyway. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on, 1 in already in the inning for the Beavers. And that one's just inside for ball 2. Williams at second after getting the RBI single. So after retiring the first batter, and called strike for strike 2, so 2-2 is the count. After getting the first batter to fly out, Wallace and Williams both singled, throwing a stolen base and a wild pitch. And now here's the out at first base on the ground ball to Beard. Nice play there by Beard, got him just in time. Actually, it was a Wallace reached on an error. So the Bears could have been out of the inning without a run. Williams would just be standing at third with 2 out, but they did get the run because of that early error. Chesler, the batter, he's the catcher today. Here's the pitch, and it's a hard ground ball to Beard at shortstop, over to first in time for out number 3. So the error comes back to bite the Bears with a run, but they do retire the side, only allowing the 1 run, and lead it after 1 inning, 3-0. We'll be back with the top of the second right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Live coverage of Bear Lake High School sports on the SVI Sports Network is presented by Southeast Idaho Steel, a locally owned business making locally produced steel signs and fixtures. Flying S Title and Escrow, whatever it takes. Stephen Hammond Dental, local family dentistry. Gary Tusher CPA, bookkeeping, tax returns, and payroll, here to help. And by Lenhart Beverages, proud to support the Bear Lake Bears.
We take all the decisions and explain them and make it easier for everybody to understand.
We bring a uniqueness to it, and we try to make sure everything is positive and happy and people have a good experience.
People come in and sign the papers and they leave and they're happy, they get their house. I like that.
When we hand you that deed to your home, there's not going to be anything that's going to come up later that's going to hurt.
We're back for the top of the second inning. Bears lead at 3-1 on the Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard over the American Falls Beavers. After scoring 3 in the first, leaving 3 stranded, the Bears are back at the top of the lineup. Peter Newton will take his spot against Avalos as we go to inning number 2 on a gorgeous Wednesday afternoon. When the wind's not blowing, which it's stopped right now, knock on wood, it is a beautiful day up here.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Newton reached on his first plate appearance, came around to score, and first pitch swinging. He's going to drive that ball over the head of the center fielder. Newton's got wheels. He's going to stop at second with the double. Beautiful hit by Peter Newton. First pitch swinging, and he drives it into center field for the double over the head of Garza, who was pretty deep. This is a huge field. Baseball fields always feel big after being used to softball. Dawson Beard, the batter, he came around to score in the first inning as well. Squares to bunt, lays it down. It is in fair territory, and he is going to reach first safely. Newton's going to score as there was an error as they threw down to first trying to get Beard out. So the sacrifice bunt, he was going to be safe anyway because of a bobble of the ball. But on the sacrifice bunt, he gets all the way to second base. So great play there by the Bears, as Williams couldn't come up with it cleanly, so Beard was safe. And then the throw was also bad, as that ball, first pitch to Hume, is ball 1, low. And the Bears take the 4-1 lead. Hume tries to bunt. It goes foul. He flew to center for a single in the first inning. So 1 ball, 1 strike as he fouls off the bunt attempt. It worked so well the first time, why not try it again? Dawson Beard has got some pretty good speed down at second. And that's a bunt. It's in fair territory this time, and it's thrown away again. And Hume will make it to second. Different player this time. Hume gets over to second base. So Beard had stolen second. Ball's in play. It's a sacrifice bunt again. He's safe again on another error. And Beard scored because of the error. And Hume was safe at second. So here is Perkins in the box. And a stolen base by Jack Hume. The ball was not there in time. So it was called a ball at the plate. Hume steals third on the play. And the Bears are in business. They've already got 2 runs with a chance to make it 3 with no outs. Perkins at the plate. And he strikes out. He grounded out in the first inning and strike out on this one. And that's 2 outs. And then a foul ball on the first pitch to Ewing.
I've been trying to find a softball score, and I'm behind on the scoreboard here. Sorry, folks.
5-1, no balls, 1 strike, 1 out.
Oh, you just said 2 outs.
My bad. It's
Okay.
only 1 out.
I thought I was like, how did I miss all that? Whoa.
And that one, but that's a ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at third, 2 runs in already. And Ewing's going to line to pop that one up.
They're lucky they got that one. They bumped into each other.
The shortstop and the second baseman did not talk to each other. And the shortstop makes the play, but they were both there, bumped into each other. Kind of lucky for American Falls that he didn't knock it out of his buddy's hand. That brings Wood out to the plate, Dax Wood. He takes ball 1. And he struck out in his first plate appearance. Takes that one in the dirt for ball 2. Vallis works fast enough. I miss pitches every once in a while as I look down to record the ball or the strike on the iPad, and I look up and I've missed a pitch. Here we go. That one's a strike, called strike. He likes that inside corner, does the umpire, because Dax kind of jumped back a little bit thinking it was inside, and he got called for a strike. That's the same pitch that was the strikeout pitch against Perkins, and there's a foul ball. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 2 runners have scored. And Jack Hume.
This is Wood.
Down at third, and Dax Wood at the plate. That one's low, full count.
I'll just let you do that.
I knew what I was saying, but I did pause.
Like, no.
So Jack Hume at third, maybe going to be a little bit aggressive with now 2 outs. And that one's fouled off. Dax fouled it off his foot. Chet Weston, the first baseman, would be on deck. He recorded 2 of the outs on ground balls to Beard, thrown over to Weston in that last inning. And there's the payoff pitch. It's strike 3, dropped it, but over to first in time. So a swing and a miss, and that's going to end the top of the second inning. The Bears lead it after scoring 2 by a score of 5-1. We'll be back with the bottom half of the second right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
We take all the decisions and explain them and make it easier for everybody to understand.
We bring a uniqueness to it, and we try to make sure everything is positive and happy and people have a good experience.
People come in and sign papers and they leave and they're happy, they get their house. I like that.
When we hand you that deed to your home, there's not going to be anything that's going to come up later that's going to hurt.
Ace is the place for the house of hardware, folks. always with the helpful hardware, folks.
When it's time for a brake job, go with Napa Silent Guard. Built with fiber-reinforced shims and rubber-coated hardware that reduce noise and provide an exact fit for the life of the pad. Available now at Napa. Give your engine the attention it deserves with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Its advanced formulation delivers faster flow and temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions, elevating engine performance by helping it run cleaner, longer. Available now at Napa.
As the batter due up for the Beavers in the bottom half of the second, the number 6 hitter in the lineup. The Bears sent 9 batters to the plate in the first, 6 batters to the plate in the second. This is batter number 6 of the game for the Bear Lake, for the American Falls Beavers.
Softball's currently ahead, the girls 5-0. I'm not sure on the inning. We'll get that for you here.
Wow, Bears, and that would be an upset as Preston the slight favorite in that game, and it's in Preston. Pitch number 1 of the second inning goes for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes, nobody on, nobody out. Bears lead at 5-1 on your Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Big swing, comes up empty. Resendez, the shortstop. The batter, Hume, pitching for the Bears. The junior comes to the plate. Inside, just missed him. Ball 2. So 2 balls, 1 strike. So after getting the first out in the second inning, the Bears allowed a runner to reach on an error that then scored after stealing a base and giving up the single. Swing and a miss again, 2-2. On the offensive side, the Bears have done well. Have put the leadoff runners on in both innings, and they've scored in both innings. Swing and a miss, he's out. Dropped third strike, down to first well in time. As that ball was in the dirt, he got him to offer at a bad pitch. That one was a drop third strike just because the pitch was so much in the dirt, you can't come up with it cleanly anyway. Perkins did a great job of knocking it down, throwing down to first to record the out. So that brings up Kelsey. He is the third baseman, and he takes strike 1, called strike. He's actually the second baseman, sorry. A little bit of glare on the iPad here from that big yellow ball in the sky we haven't seen much of.
So happy for it.
Swing and a miss for strike 2. So Kelsey, the number 7 batter in the lineup, the second baseman, down 0-2 with 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the second inning. Bears leading by a score of 5-1. Oh, just missed.
Like
Perkins,
drop.
the catcher, wanted that one called. Doesn't get it.
I wanted that one called. That was a pretty pitch. It kind of just dropped right in there.
Yeah, it's a sinker or a curveball.
Yeah.
If you're in baseball, call it a drop ball, and that one is strike 3, called strike. So 2 out with nobody on, and Mendez, sorry, I keep putting, did that the other day in softball, tried to put the extra E in there. Mendez, wonder if he's a brother of the 2 softball players. At the plate, he is the right fielder today. He's batting 8th in the lineup. Here's the pitch. Called strike. Nice pitch there by Hume. Mendez didn't even flinch. I think he thought that one was a ball all the way. It gets called for a strike, inside corner. Same pitch, same call. Strike 2. So Mendez, without ever taking the bat off his shoulders, down 0-2. Here's the payoff pitch. Struck him out on 3 straight. That one he went outside corner, and it fooled Mendez. And Hume strikes out 2, the Bears. Actually struck out the side, I believe. And the Bears go to the top of the third with a 5-1 lead. We'll be back with that right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Ready, set, 12 days, 10 venues, 1 van. Client presentation starting in 4 minutes. Living your best midlife crisis. Rerouting. There's go in everything you do. That's why Phillips 66 is there to fuel all the ways you go, go, go.
Visit You Save Phillips 66 in Montpelier for fuel, snacks, and more. Live to the full with You Save Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure.
Hi, I'm Dr. Reynolds. I work here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. I'm a family physician trained in rural family medicine, and then I also do sports medicine. I think what I want you to know more than anything else is that I'm here for you, that I take that duty to you very seriously, and I want to provide you with the information or the guidelines that you need to make a good decision, and that I have your best interest at heart.
Five to 1 here, 5-0 in Preston. Both games in favor of the Bear Lake Bears in district competition. And this game, I think the Bears were a slight favorite. I forgot to check Max Preps today on that. Because of another reason, I was on Max Preps for a very different reason for softball today. So I do know that Preston was the favorite there. So that's a big game. If the Bears pull off that upset, it'd be put the Bears in the driver's seat as Weston takes strike one. It would put the Bears in the driver's seat going 4-0 on the first half of the district, and would just have to protect home field in the second half of district play. That one's outside for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Weston here in the top of the third. Weston in his first at-bat, and he drives that one into center field, and it's going to be, well, left center field is going to be a single. He walked, and now he has a base hit as he singles it, the line drive into left center. And that brings up Ryder Beard. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. I remember that because it got him right in the back and it scored a run. Just throw over, not in time. Weston with the dive back. So yeah, that would put the Bears in a great position in softball. And Ryder Beard lays down a beautiful bunt. The third baseman up with it over to first in time. That's the first time they've made that throw successfully. And the sacrifice bunt works to perfection as the McClurg, the third baseman, made the good throw that time. But it does advance Weston to second, and this brings up Christofferson. And that one's high for ball one. Christofferson, I think he struck out. Let me double check. No, he grounded out to first to end the first. So this is his second at bat. And a swing and a miss. But a runner in scoring position again. The Bears have had runners in scoring position in every inning. Scored 5 in the first 2 innings combined. And that ball's in the dirt, knocked down well to keep the runner at second. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out, runner at first here in the top of the third. 5-1 lead for the Bears. And that one, again in the dirt. Again, a great stop by the catcher to keep that ball from getting past, because a pass ball right now advances the runner to third base. So with a 3-run count, here's the pitch. And a hard ground ball. It's fair, and it's going to score a run. Weston.
Beautiful hit.
Oh, no. Weston's going to stay at third. At first, it looked like he was going to send Weston.
I think the right fielder got to that ball a lot faster than Coach anticipated, so he held him up there at third.
That was a hard ground ball right down the first base line, and with no runner on, the first baseman was playing the gap. And that was a great hit there by Christofferson. I think they're going to replace Christofferson, pinch runner. And I cannot see a number from here. I'll say freshman.
Because he's little.
Because from here he looks like a third grader.
He's really tiny.
Cannot see a number, don't know who it is. We'll give that to you if we can. That brings up Peter Newton, who had a double his last at bat to lead off the second. Throw over, not in time. And there's a single little score, a run. A nice hit there by Newton. He's got a double, he's got a single, he's got an RBI. He has scored 2 runs, and the Bears now lead it by a score of 6-1. And that's now that he's at second, we can see who that is. It's number 20, and he's going to make it down to third on the wild pitch.
It's a speedy little guy.
Oh, it's Sparks. It's not a freshman.
He's not. He's speedy.
It's Skylar Sparks.
Oh, he isn't very big, but he's definitely not a freshman.
And Dawson Beard's going to single up the middle. It's going to score 2 because Peter Newton was at second, and you're not going to throw him out from center field. So on the wild pitch, Sparks and Newton both advanced. And then on the next pitch, the single up the middle scores 2. And that's going to bring the coach out of the batter's box. As the RBI single for Dawson Sparks brings the coach out to talk to his pitcher. Let's see if he makes a change. Let's take a 30-second break so you don't have to listen to the wind blow right after, and we'll be back right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
At Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, it's not only about mining phosphate for production of crop nutrients that support western U.S. farmers and ranchers. It's about supporting our employees, neighbors, and local communities and their families. From providing quality competitive jobs to being an active partner in our local communities. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine. Passion for people and supporting local families by bringing Earth's resources to life.
We're back here at American Falls. No change in the pitching lineup, but the coach goes out there to try to calm down his pitcher, Jack Hume, who's 1 for 1 today, and I believe he also had a sacrifice but then reached on an error. High for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 on, 3 runs already across the plate in the inning. 2 of them on Dawson Beard's RBI single. Brings up Jack Hume. And here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, but Beard is, they're going to say foul ball. I thought Beard was going to get the stolen base, but they say he foul tipped it. So Beard will walk on back to first.
Update from Preston. 4th inning. Bears lead 5-2 with 1 out. Bears at bat.
So 4th inning, getting late in that one with the Bears in the lead. Jack Hume at the plate here. Bears lead at 8-1 in the 3rd inning here. Hume hits a high fly ball to left field, and it's going to be caught. And Beard was confused, and so he's double off. I don't think Beard thought that one was caught. He was trying to go to second, and when he went back, he doesn't get back in time. So Parrish makes the catch and doubles Beard off of first base, but the Bears do score 3 and lead it 8-1. We'll be back with the
At Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, it's not only about mining phosphate for production of crop nutrients that support western U.S. farmers and ranchers. It's about supporting our employees, neighbors, and local communities and their families. From providing quality competitive jobs to being an active partner in our local communities. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine. Passion for people and supporting local families by bringing Earth's resources to life.
Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier is your full-service pharmacy, including prescription refills and medications. Bear Lake Drug also offers services such as rapid strep test, rapid influenza test, and medication synchronization. Ask your pharmacist for more details at Bear Lake Drug on Washington Street in Montpelier. Visit BearLakeDrugID.com. That's BearLakeDrugID.com. It's your local drugstore and a whole lot more. Bear Lake Drug.
with hits in that last inning from Newton and Beard. The Bears score 3 and lead it by a score of 8-1. Batter number 9 in the lineup, coming up for his first plate appearance, is Garza. And it looks like Christofferson is back out there at second base after Sparks pinch ran for him. I'm not sure that was Skylar Sparks. That's who I have down on my lineup as number 20, but I may not have been correct there. So if I didn't give the right person credit to the mom and grandma out there.
It is Sparks. Is there another Sparks?
There could be. I don't know the freshman as well, so there could be another Sparks in the lineup.
Because that is what the coach's lineup says, is Sparks.
So the Bears, with a comfortable lead, 8-1. The last inning, the Bear Lake pitcher Jack Hume took care of American Falls, struck out the side. And now he's got the number 9 hitter Garza at the plate. And he is the center fielder. Here's the first pitch, swing and a miss. Perkins, the catcher behind the plate. Jack Hume, his battery mate. Swing and a miss. Jack Hume in a groove right now, pitching well. And it becomes easier and easier to throw strikes when the lead grows. And he struck him out looking. If I am correct with my memory, that is 4 straight strikeouts. Now McClurg, who had a fly ball out to center field to start the game for American Falls before they scored a run in that first inning, at the plate. So he's 0 for 1 on the day. Hume, swing and a miss. Whoa, breaking ball. Nice pitch from Hume. It looked like it was going to be right down the middle, and it was a lot slower than he expected and had that break away and down. Great pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Hume dealing right now.
He's looking really good out there.
I think that's about a dozen pitches in a row that have been strikes. That's the first ball he's thrown in a while because he had all those. He had 4 straight strikeouts and then 0-2, and at least 2, if not 3 of those strikeouts were 3-pitch strikeouts before that ball. Jack Hume throwing well today. Here's the 1-2 pitch, just low. He can afford to be careful right now. McClurg, a good hitter, leadoff hitter, and he was up on him 0-2, so those were a couple of good pitches to throw up there, see if he would offer at him.
Low and inside.
So 3-2 now.
Pitching to a left-handed batter makes things a little different.
It does change things up just a bit. 3-2, payoff pitch coming. And he struck him out.
Good one.
Big swing. And that's the second strikeout of the inning. At least 4 in a row, if not 5 in a row, struck out. But now by Jack Hume. He is dealing well right now. Avalos reached on an error before coming around to score the only run. And he takes high for ball 1. And there's a ground ball, first ball in play. It's over to Beard at shortstop, over to first in time. 1-2-3 for the second inning in a row, and the Bears head to the top of the 4th with an 8-1 lead. We'll be back with that right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Live coverage of Bear Lake High School sports on the SVI Sports Network is presented by Southeast Idaho Steel, a locally owned business making locally produced steel signs and fixtures. Flying S Title and Escrow, whatever it takes. Stephen Hammond Dental, local family dentistry. Gary Tusher CPA, bookkeeping, tax returns, and payroll, here to help. And by Lenhart Beverages, proud to support the Bear Lake Bears.
We take all the decisions and explain them and make it easier for everybody to understand.
We bring a uniqueness to it, and we try to make sure everything is positive and happy and people have a good experience.
People come in and sign the papers and they leave and they're happy, they get their house. I like that.
When we hand you that deed to your home, there's not going to be anything that's going to come up later that's going to hurt.
That one's ball one, I think. From here, we got kind of an interesting angle, and I think he indicated that it was outside. He might have indicated a strike. Ground ball to the third baseman, up with it, over to first in time for the out. So McClurg makes a good play there. Goes over to Williams to record the out. And for the first time in the game, the Bears have 2 outs without getting a runner on base. Dax Wood, who is 0 for 2 in the game. He struck out both times. Takes strike one. That's a breaking ball. It just drops right out of the zone. Hard pitch to hit, but he watched it go past. Well, now he's going to line drive this one off the glove of the shortstop, who made a diving stop at.
Wow.
Wow, what a play.
What a play. Yeah, he had it. Just was in the tip of his mitt and couldn't quite hang on.
You know what? I'm going to give Dax a single on that.
You're going to be generous.
That would have been a fantastic,
fantastic
stop, because it was diving. And Weston is going to pop this one up. And the first baseman in the wind makes the play. And that's going to end the inning. Bears stranded 1. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th right after this.
We take all the decisions and explain them and make it easier for everybody to understand.
We bring a uniqueness to it, and we try to make sure everything is positive and happy and people have a good experience.
People come in and sign the papers and they leave and they're happy, they get their house. I like that.
When we hand you that deed to your home, there's not going to be anything that's going to come up later that's going to hurt.
folks. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
We're in the bottom of the fourth. The Bears don't score for the first time in the game in the top of the fourth, but they still lead it on your Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard by a score of 8-1. And Jack Hume, who's dealing, is on the mound. He has retired 7 in a row, 2 straight 1-2-3 innings, and mix in 5 strikeouts in those last 2 innings. 5 of the 6 outs have been via the strikeout. First baseman Cash Williams, who has an RBI single in this game, drove in the only run of the game, takes ball 1.
Again, another left-handed batter.
And he's going to foul that one off. So Jack throwing well for the Bears. And they lead it. The Bears lead it by a score of 8-1.
Ooh.
Just held off.
Almost went for that.
I had to wait for the umpire because it wasn't a horrible pitch. You can understand why he held off. Well, why he struggled to hold off. Swing and a miss on that one. 2-2 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Nobody on. 8-1 lead for the Bears in the bottom of the 4th inning here from American Falls. Here's the pitch. Struck him out looking. Wow, that one looked high from here, but we'll take it. And another strikeout for Jack Hume. And this brings up Parrish, the left fielder. He is 0 for 1 in the game. His last out bat was a ground out to the shortstop, Dawson Beard, who has played an extraordinary game defensively. And he's got an RBI single. And he's scored a couple runs. Ball 1. So far, if I'm given a steal man of the game, I've got a couple of options already, maybe even 3. We'll have to see if things change. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. You almost got to go with Jack Hume and the way he's dealing.
I give it up for Perkins, though, behind the plate there.
You throw
Doing
in
an awesome job of catching as well today.
Another swing and a miss. You throw in the offense, though, that the middle part his play. Dawson Beard's had a great defensive and offensive game. And Peter Newton, as that's a ball, has had a great day at the plate. He's 3 for 3, has scored a couple runs, has a couple RBIs. So it's probably going to have to be Jack unless things change dramatically here. But there's a couple other players that have played fantastic. Here's the pitch in the dirt. Laid off it to load the count. So full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. And Parrish, the left fielder, in the box. Here's the pitch. Foul ball. We'll do it again. And if you've ever scored on Game Changer, they've made an update.
I can't read that. I still can't read that.
All the options. Oh, and he walked him. All the options are now at the bottom of the screen instead of having to clutter up the screen.
Oh, okay.
It makes it nice. And that's a first base runner in quite a while. It's Chesler, the catcher, comes to the plate. In his only other plate appearance, he grounded out to Dawson Beard. So now with 1 on and 1 out, throw over to Weston, gets past him, and it's going to allow the runner
that's going to be a
to advance.
Error there.
So Hume threw that one high and outside. And Weston went up high for it but couldn't bring it in, and that allows the runner to get down to second. So now runner in scoring position with 1 out. And Chesler at the plate. He has the ground out in his only plate appearance so far in the game. Hume will go to second. Not in time. So the Bears trying to keep the runners close, keep them honest right here. In an 8-1 game, you don't want to give him any advantage just to get some momentum to try to get back in this. Swing and a miss. 4 strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at second. Hume comes to the plate. Called strike. Nice frame. That strike, that one right there, that's on the catcher Perkins.
Absolutely.
Because that was high.
He did a great job of framing that pitch.
From here, that pitch looked like it was good 3 or 4 inches high. Perkins brought it down, gets the called strike. 0-2 count. And that's going to be popped out of play. Still count as 0-2. Runner still down at second. And the Bears still with a big lead, 8-1, with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Hume comes to the plate, and I think it hit his bat. Should have been inside, maybe even a hit by a pitch. Definitely would have been a ball, but it had to have hit his bat because they did not let the runner advance, so I'm going to say it was a foul tip. It's got to be what the call was. And he struck him out, a swing and a miss for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring Resendez, the shortstop, to the plate. And he struck out. He was one of those that struck out in that 5 batters in a row that struck out. And he takes strike 1. So after giving it the walk, Hume has settled right back down, has a strikeout, and is up 0-1. Make it 0-2 after the swing and a miss. So Jack Hume dealing today. And he has had a decent day at the plate offensively. He's driven in a run. Struck him out, fooled him on the breaking ball. So Jack Hume retires the side, and we'll go to the top of the 5th with the Bears with the big lead right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
When it's time for a brake job, go with Napa Silent Guard. Built with fiber-reinforced shims and rubber-coated hardware that reduce noise and provide an exact fit for the life of the pad. Available now at Napa. Give your engine the attention it deserves with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Its advanced formulation delivers faster flow and temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions, elevating engine performance by helping it run cleaner, longer. Available now at Napa.
Ready, set, 12 days, 10 venues, 1 van. Client presentation starting in 4 minutes. Living your best midlife crisis. Rerouting. There's go in everything you do. That's why Phillips 66 is there to fuel all the ways you go, go, go.
Visit You Save Phillips 66 in Montpelier for fuel, snacks, and more. Live to the full with You Save Phillips 66, where your convenience is our.
As we go to the top of the 5th, Ryder Beard headed to the plate for the Bear Lake Bears. He is 0 for 1 on the game. He grounded out. Well, he was hit by a pitch. Actually, he's 0 for 0 officially because he was hit by the pitch his first at bat and then had a sacrifice bunt, so that doesn't count against your batting average. Get yourself out on purpose to advance a runner in his second at bat. So 2 plate appearances, but is still officially 0 for 0 in the game. He's done his job by getting hit by that pitch and by the sacrifice bunt. He did his job. So Ryder Beard stepping in for his 3rd at bat in this game. Swing and a miss, big swing there for strike 1. That ball's in the upper half of the zone. He put a big swing at it, but couldn't catch up to it. Now this ball is in the dirt for ball 1. We haven't had an update from Preston in a minute.
Nope.
Hope it's still going well over there. Bears were up 7-2 last we heard in the 4th inning in Preston in the softball side of things. Beard puts it in play, down the third baseline, and he's going to reach on a single as the third baseman McClurg was able to knock it down, but there's no way he makes that out. It's not an error because he had to make a diving stop even to knock it down. So the infield single by Beard, who's had a good day. Lots of Bears having good days. Riker Christofferson lays down the sacrifice bunt.
Great bunt.
The catcher's going to come up with it, go to first in time for the out, but Beard will go to second. So great bunt.
Did his job. Advanced his runner.
Get that runner into scoring position.
Update from softball, 5th inning, Bears up 9-4.
Things are going well over there. Preston hanging with them a little bit closer than American Falls is here, but similar parts of the game. And Peter Newton at the plate. He's had himself a game. And the throw down to second does not get the runners. Beard dove back. Newton 2 for 2. He was hit by a pitch to start the game. He doubled and singled in his other 2 at-bats. And he's got a runner in scoring position in this plate appearance. Chance to add to that 8-1 lead. And he takes ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at second, 1 out. Top of the lineup. Swing and a miss. He was looking for a big one there. And he takes in strike 1. Beard gets the lead at second. Here's the pitch. It's up high for ball 2. On deck is Dawson Beard, who's got 2 RBI singles and a 2 RBI single in his last plate appearance, and has played a gem of a game at shortstop. Newton flies this one into left field. Let's see if the left fielder can get there. He does. What a catch.
Wow, good job by
And
the left fielder.
Beard will have to stay at second base. What a catch in foul territory.
He dove for it. Good job. Which you probably saw. It's right in front of your screen.
So Parrish makes the great catch, and that's the first time Newton has been retired. Now with 2 outs, Dawson Beard, who was 2 for 2 in the game. He singled and sacrificed, but reached on an error and then singled. So he's been on base all 3 times and did have that sacrifice bunt. Takes called strike 1 on the first pitch. And that ball is going to make it to the backstop, and Ryder Beard, the senior playing left field today, is going to trot on down to third base. So now Dawson Beard has a chance to bring in Ryder Beard. Dawson at the plate, Ryder at third, takes the lead. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be a pop fly. I think it's going to get out of play. The first baseman's over there. Can't get to it. The fence is in the way. Just barely. Just barely. It was probably a foot or 2 over that fence. But it's about 8 to 10 feet high, so there's no jumping it. You just gotta, once you run into it, you're done.
That would be ESPN play of the game worthy, play of the week.
So with 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, runner at third. Here's the pitch. And he struck him out, but it's going to make it to the backstop. If Dawson can make it down to first, which he will, it's going to score a run.
That's why you run, no matter what. Like the softball chant says, 3-2, what do? You
So
run no matter what.
The drop third strike, and he makes it to first base. And Dawson scores from, Ryder scores from third. So the strikeout goes kind of as an RBI.
Yep.
In a way. That's not the way it'll be scored, but it's the same result. Jack Hume, the pitcher who's had an exceptional day pitching, is 1 for 3. And throw down to first. He singled, he sacrificed and reached on an error, and then he had the fly out into the double play in his 3 at-bats for Hume. And that's a hard ground ball. That's going to be a single. And Dawson's going to round and try to get to third, and he's going to get there as he throws up the line. In fact, he's going to score as it goes out of play. And so it's going to go as a double and then Jack will trot to third as the throw goes into the dugout for an error.
Great hit by Hume.
So he gets the line drive double. And then the fielding error on the throw allows Jack Hume to advance to third and the runner to score. So the Bears take the 10-1 lead. The drop third strike comes back to haunt. That's a strike. Is it 1-1 or is it 0-2?
I think it's 1-1. I'm not sure.
Here's the pitch. Ball 2. I know that one's a ball. So it could have been a strikeout to end the inning without allowing any runs, and the Bears have scored twice now since that drop third strike. And 3 times is the ground ball up the middle by Perkins. Reaches base for the first time in the game, drives in a run.
Great hit.
He's had a great day behind the plate. He gets the ground ball single right there to score a run. So the Bears have now scored 3 since the inning-ending strikeout was a passed ball, and that brings Tate Ewing to the plate. Ewing 0-2 in the game. Here's the pitch. First pitch swinging. That's going to be a single, and it's going to get the runner Perkins all the way to third. So the line drive single, and the Bears in business. And Perkins, with some wheels, advances all the way around to third. So Ewing's at first, Perkins at third. Dax Wood, the third baseman, who's 1 for 3 in the game. He had a single his last at bat. Will come to the plate with a chance to add at least one more run. And the runner went from first and is safe at second on the steal. They threw behind him at first, trying to get Perkins in a pickle at third. It doesn't work, so Ewing gets the stolen base. And now runners at second and third for Wood. And he takes high for ball 1. Bears already up by 10 at 11-1. Would I like to add a couple more right here? And swing and a miss there by Wood. 2 outs, but the Bears have scored 3 runs since strike 3 of the third out, but it was a dropped third strike.
Pretty pitch.
For a strike, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. That drop third strike was big. You got to earn the out. If it's in the dirt or pass ball, you got to earn the out. Dawson Beard hoofed it out. And since then, the Bears have scored 3, and that one's in the dirt for ball 2. Good stop back there by the catcher, Chesler, to keep it in front of him, keep the runners at second and third. And there's a swing and a miss, and that one will end the inning. But not before the Bears add 3, and it's 11-1 as we go to the bottom of the second right after this. Bottom of the fifth right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Dr. Reynolds. I work here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. I'm a family physician trained in rural family medicine, and then I also do sports medicine. I think what I want you to know more than anything else is that I'm here for you, that I take that duty to you very seriously, and I want to provide you with the information or the guidelines that you need to make a good decision, and that I have your best interest at heart.
At Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, it's not only about mining phosphate for production of crop nutrients that support western U.S. farmers and ranchers. It's about supporting our employees, neighbors, and local communities and their families. From providing quality competitive jobs to being an active partner in our local communities. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine. Passion for people and supporting local families by bringing Earth's resources to life.
So after the Bears score 3 in the last inning, after the strikeout that should have ended the inning but was a passed ball, the Bears plate 3 and take the lead by 10 at 11-1 And now we're headed to the bottom of the 5th. And if the run rule is in effect, which I think it is, if the Bears can hold the Beavers scoreless in this inning, it would end the game, and the Bears would win it in 5 by a score of 11-1. So the Bears, with a good inning there, it looked like they were going to go scoreless for the second inning in a row. Dawson Beard hoofs out that strikeout to get to on base. Ryder scores on the play, and 2 more runs come across after that. Here's the first pitch, and that's a ball in the dirt. 8 strikeouts in the game out of 12 outs recorded by the Beavers. 8 of them have been strikeouts by Jack Hume, and 3 have been ground outs to Dawson Beard. So the only other out recorded, and that's a called strike. The only other out recorded, I think, was that fly ball in center field to Peter Newton. So the Bears have had a stellar day. Ooh, he wanted to call that one a strike. He changed his mind. He started his strike move and then changed it to a ball at the last second. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out, nobody on. Bottom of the 5th. And the Beavers need base runners. That one's high. Only 1 walk given up by Jack on the day. He does have the 8 strikeouts. He has the 1 walk in 4 innings worked so far. He had an 11-pitch inning and a 12-pitch inning so far in this game. Strike there, inside corner. So that makes the count full at 3-2. I think that 12-pitch inning and the 11-pitch inning both, I think that he struck out the side in both innings. That's efficient work. Only threw 2 balls in the entire inning, the 1 and 3 in the other. When in fact, you mix in potential foul balls there, he might not have thrown a ball. And that's going to be ball 4. So he walks the leadoff man, and that brings up Mendez. Mendez is 0 for 1. He's got a strikeout and a ground out in this game. And he will step in there with Kelsey, the runner, at first. Mendez last time was fooled on all 3 pitches. He didn't even get his bat off his shoulder, if I remember, on his last at bat. And he takes a called strike right there. This is just his second plate appearance, as Hume has been very efficient. And that one's fouled off for strike 2. Garza, the center fielder, is on deck. Mendez is the right fielder. And then back to the top of the lineup, if they get there, to McClurg. Here's the pitch. Ball 1. Kelsey glued to first base over there. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. It's the second time he has struck out in the game. That brings Garza up. He also struck out in his 1 at-bat. Part of the 5 strikeouts in a row that were recorded by Hume. He's now got 9 strikeouts on the game. Swing and a miss. 9 of the 13 outs recorded so far in the game by the Bears have been strikeouts by Jack Hume. Ball 1, just missed high. Perkins took a look down at first base, but there was no play there, so we just held on to it. Swing and a miss for strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, runner on first after reaching on a leadoff walk. Mendez followed it with a strikeout, and Garza is down 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hume deals, struck him out. Got him looking on that inside corner, and that brings McClurg to the plate. McClurg, the third baseman, and he is 0 for 2 on the game. He flew out to center, and he struck out in his 2 plate appearances. Hume looking to strike him out here and end the game if he could, because the Bears lead it by 10 with 2 outs. The runner down at first. Swing and a miss. McClurg, in his first plate appearance, drove the ball to center field, but Newton got a beat on it and caught it. And since then, Jack Hume has settled in and pitched a gem of a game. That's a ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, runner at first. And you don't take too many risks right now if you're American Falls with that runner at first, because if he gets thrown out, that ends the game. You'd rather give your batters a chance. Swing and a miss. Nope, foul ball. Didn't see where it went, but they have to go running for it, so definitely a foul ball somewhere. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Hume has already struck out McClurg on the day, and the umpire is going to clean off home plate, give him a better look at this potential game-ending pitch. Jack Hume, with already 10 strikeouts on the day, would like to get strikeout number 11 and end this game right here. And that one is high for ball.
Great job by Perkins to stop that ball.
Yeah, keep it in front. You got the big lead, so likely even a pass ball isn't going to do much, but it could extend the game. And once you extend the game, you never know what could happen. And that one's low. That'll load the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Payoff pitch right here. Hume looks over to first, gets set, comes to the plate, batter's going, struck him out. That'll end the game.
That was a great frame because that looked low to me. Wow.
And I think American Falls would agree with you right there. But that ends the game. The Bears win it by a score of 11-1. And just double checking, it doesn't look like they're coming out of the dugout, so I'm going to guess that's going to do it. And yeah, the teams are giving each other a cheer. So the Bears win it by a score of 11-1. Jack Hume, what a play, what a game. He outduels Avalos, and 11 strikeouts on the day for Jack Hume. What a game for him. And I'm just gonna say, Lisa, you can contradict me if you want, but I don't think you will. Jack Hume's definitely our steal man of the game.
Yeah, between his pitching and his batting, I think that's without question there today.
He was 2 out of 3 at the plate, scored 2 runs. Newton was 2 out of 3 at the plate. Beard was 2 out of 3 at the plate. 2 RBIs for Beard. But Hume, with the 11 strikeouts from the pitching standpoint, is why he earns it. He was great offensively. He was better defensively. What a gem of a game. The top of the lineup, those 3 that I already mentioned, scored 8 of the Bears' 11 runs.
Wow, it's a great game for all of them
today. And they drove in 4 runs between the 3 of them. So great game for those 3 offensively. A couple other guys contributed offensively, but those 3 just dominated. Ryder Beard was 1 for 1. Weston 1 for 2. 1 out of 4 for Perkins. 1 out of 3 for Ewing. 1 out of 4 for Wood. And 1 out of 2 for Christofferson. So every Bear Lake Bear had a recorded hit in the game. RBIs, Newton with 1, Beard with 2, Hume with 1, Perkins with 1, and Ryder Beard with 1. Ewing and Weston already also drew walks, and only 5 total strikeouts as a team. So Jack recorded 11 as a pitcher. Bears only struck out 5 as batters, and that's the way you get the win. I did have 8 errors recorded on the American Falls Beavers as well, and that's going to make a big difference in the game. Only 2 recorded errors for Bear Lake. So the solid defense is what did it. And you've said it several times in the game. I said it a couple times in the game. Got to give Dax Perkins, the freshman, huge credit as the catcher.
Great job behind the plate today. Behind the home plate.
Jack Hume doesn't get 11 strikeouts without Jack back there today. Without Dax back there today. Mm-hmm. Other catchers maybe could have done it as well, but Dax had a great day back there is what I'm trying to say. Couple of those strikeouts, especially the strikeouts looking great frames by Dax to make that what could have been a borderline pitch a strike 3 call. So
big difference there in the errors too. Like you said, 8 to 2. The difference also there is those 8 errors by American Falls allowed at least 3 of our runs versus the 2 errors against Bear Lake. And that only cost us 1 added base.
It did cost us a run because the run that did score reached on an error.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So.
But you make a huge point, though. The drop third strike, which counts as an error, it would have been a strikeout to end the inning. Bears would have gone in 8-1. Instead, Dawson legs it out, gets to first. A run scores on the play. 2 more runs come across the inning.
On an overthrow to third.
Yep. So instead of 8-1 and going to the bottom of the 5th, Bears go out there 11-1. And 8-1 doesn't end the game. The Bears would be batting right now. 11-1, huge difference. So errors make all the difference.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thanks to
final update from Preston, because we're going off the air, but they're not done yet. They're in the top of the 6th, and Bears continue to lead 9-5.
Top of the 6th, 9-5. So Bears in good position there. Preston starting to fight back in it a little bit, but Bears still up by 4. Good luck to them. Hope they finish it off. And that's going to do it for us for today. Thank you to our excellent cameraman, Ray Henry, for putting up with us as always, and to Lisa, who's pushing all the buttons and making us look good, and everybody else on the SVI Sports Network. This is
Lisa Hillier
and Jared Hillier saying good night, everybody.